This week my blog is on the mismanagement or neglect of property owners to take care of their properties according to Gallup City Code. There seems to be an excessive amount of weeds and trash in residences and open lots, privately owned properties that are neglected and becoming a nuisance in general.
So what does the city code say about weeds and private property? Well, chapter 5 of the city code, section 4-5-2, says it shall be unlawful for any owner of any occupied or unoccupied lot or tract of land within the city to permit or maintain any growth of weeds to be greater height than 8 inches.
You make multiple calls to the city which say, well, that's the fire chief's problem. You call the fire chief, and who knows what goes on from there with the property owner, but nothing seems to transpire in terms of making property owners really take care of their place, or not even take care of it, just make it quasi-respectable.
So what happens next? A notice to cut and remove. City Code 4-5-5. The city manager shall notify the owner of any occupied or unoccupied lot or tract of land to comply with the provisions of this chapter within 10 days of the dated notice.
I guess this week's blog is a call to say to property owners, if you own a piece of property that is a nuisance, you probably know who you are, and you probably know that your property sucks. And it would be a good idea to clean it up, to chop down those weeds, to pick up the trash.
And what if you decide to ignore your weeds? What if you do not comply? Section 4-5-6 of the City Code says, whenever the growth of the weeds advances to a condition prohibited in this chapter, the city manager may notify such occupant or owner to remove the same. In default of this not being done, the city may remove or cause the same to be removed, and the cost thereof shall become a lien on the property.
Is it outrageous? Is it asking too much for people to take an ounce, maybe a few grams of pride in a property that you own? I mean, you're paying property tax on it. It's costing you money. Why let it sit? Why let it get full of weeds and trash? If you don't want to take care of it, why don't you sell it? Sell it for cheap. Sell it to the city. Sell it to someone. But don't let it be vermin in a neighborhood. It's ridiculous.